Peter's made sculptures in the past with a lot of different vehicles. Often they'll be real life vehicles. So he had a whole series of sculptures where he'd taken London taxis and cut them up, sliced them up and reconstruct them, sometimes in spirals or in other ways, big public sculptures. So he was interested in the way sculptors look at an object and they take it apart and they make something new with it. And he's also interested in digital environments and virtual objects. So he decided to find a virtual object and reconstruct that. With this sculpture, he was really inspired by, he saw some images of the Arab Spring, which is the Arab uprisings in Syria, I think, and there's a famous image of children riding on top of a tank after an uprising, and he really liked the idea of humanity essentially overcoming oppression and overcoming technology. So if you see these figures on top of the tank, a few people have asked about those. But yeah, I mean, he's a sculptor and he wants to make extraordinary sculptures, and this is a pretty extraordinary thing he's made. It is. Well, it was made especially for here. He looked at this space and was trying to think, actually, what kind of object would fill this space? It's the courtyard out here. It's quite a large space, so often sculptors will put something in here and they'll think they're really big when they've got them in their studio or in their workshop, and they'll come here and they'll be a bit dwarfed by the church and the size of the square. But he wanted to put something really kind of definitive in this space. I mean, he was interested in it essentially as an object, as a thing, as a sculptural, a sculptural thing in a space, and it does fit here. It works beautifully here. It really complements the colours of the church. It's really visible from the square. And it's been getting a lot of attention of people just walking by and coming up and looking at it. We're a contemporary art gallery, so often we get people in saying, "Oh, I could do that." We haven't had anyone say that about this. They're pretty impressed. It's an impressive thing. There's over 10,000 pieces of wood in this sculpture. I think he said there were 7 miles of CNC cuts to make it, and it's taken him over 4 years to make it. So it's an awe-inspiring thing. I think people have been coming back, and people have been telling their friends about it, and hopefully it's going to make a bit of an impression. Well, it's great in terms of being in the courtyard here because people can see it when the gallery's closed. People walking past across Church Square can come and have a look at it even when we're closed. And it's great to have. We're trying to get more and more big projects here in Scunthorpe because we really want to bring people to Scunthorpe. We think, we think Scunthorpe deserves the biggest and the best art that's possible to have here, and also it coincides with whole UK City of Culture coming up, so we're looking at ways to bring possibly some of that audience over to Scunthorpe and help the economy and make people think about Scunthorpe in a new way where exciting things happen.